Hello, welcome to the All Age service. It's very good to see you today. Thank you for coming. Today we're going to learn more about one of the heroes of the Bible, and we started to think about him last week, an old man called Abraham and his wife, who was an old lady. She was called Sarah. Remember, they had a baby whose name was Isaac. We're going to go deeper into their story today, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's begin with our usual liturgy. I will share my screen. God promises a country. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. Our first song today is a song to God. It's a hymn, and a really nice hymn. I think you'll like this. And it's about going through life and life being like a journey. And the whole point of the song is we're asking God to go with us as we go through life. Maybe you have just started something new in your life, or maybe you're looking forward to something new. Maybe you're going to start a new school in September. Maybe you're going to start a new class, a new teacher in September. Maybe you're even going to move house and start in a new town. Lots of ways in which we make steps through life, and all the time God is with us. And here's the song. Did you get that? So that was us repeating each line after the singers. So now we're ready to sing the whole thing, not after the singers, but in time with the singers. And there are 5 verses to this.
Keep
good. That was a good song, wasn't it? Traveling through life with God. Okay, well, today is Father's Day, as you know, and that's a good reason for thinking about Abraham. Now, we're going to think of some famous fathers. I wonder if you know any famous fathers. Here are a few that I've thought of. Father Time, can you see him? He's always pictured as an old man with a scythe. That's what that tool is that he has next to him that he's holding. It's an old farming tool that people used to cut grain and wheat with that big knife. It's called a scythe. And Father Time is a made-up person, and the idea is that he keeps time, particularly he keeps the year. So the year is like a baby, and the baby comes along on the 1st of January, he goes old, and by the 31st of December, he's an old man. So there's Father Time. Here's another famous father. Wait now, because you think of this as Santa, don't you? Santa Claus. But in many countries around the world, Santa Claus is known as Father Christmas. In the country where I come from, England, he's called Father Christmas. Here's another famous father, or actually lots of fathers, the founding fathers of the United States. Have you heard that term before? These were the men who 250 years ago were behind the whole idea of becoming the United States, of no longer being part of Britain, but being an independent country. And there they are, 7 of the founding fathers. At the top middle there, that's Washington, George Washington, the first president. So they were very famous and very brave, and they started the United States. That's why they're called the founding fathers. And today's father, Father Abraham, that we're going to learn some more about. But before we do, just turn to your dad. If he's there, then turn to him now and say, Happy Father's Day. If he's not there, then make sure you tell him that when you see him next. Happy Father's Day. So what makes Father Abraham so special? Did he have a large family? Well, no, not really. Was he a really good dad? Well, actually, he wasn't really a very good dad. I mean, most dads are a mixture, aren't they? Sometimes they're really amazing. And sometimes, you know, dads as well as mums, you know, we're all human and we all let people down. Generally, though, dads are really good, and I'm sure your dad is really good. But Abraham was perhaps had a lot of mistakes that he made. So he's not famous for being a great dad. Did he always do the right thing? Well, no, actually, he did some wrong things sometimes. Was he a great husband to his wife, Sarah? Again, not really. He didn't treat her very well sometimes. And so you can think, well, you know, what makes him so famous then? If he wasn't perfect in every way, can people still be good people and examples, even if they're not perfect? Well, this is what made him such a great person and why we're thinking about him as a great father. Winding up this old clock. Can you hear it ticking? You probably can't. I can hear it ticking. And Abraham had lots of patience. He had to wait a long time for a promise from God. And he trusted God, and he waited a long time for it to come true. So that's why he was a great father. He was a father of people who believe, because he had patience and faith. Here's our poem for today, our praise poem. And you'll remember we did this one last week. It's one about food, thanking God for all the lovely food that we have. So if I can, it's being a bit sluggish today. There we go. Oops, I'm playing the song. Sorry about that, I'm going to have to stop that.
One more step along the world.
Right. I hope this will now good, that seems to have stopped it. Okay, sorry about that. The praise poem, giving thanks to God for the things that we like to eat and drink. So you remember there's a chorus at the end of each line, eat and drink with thanks to God, and that's your part. And I'll say the part on the left side of the screen, which is all the lovely food and drink that we enjoy. Pies and pizzas, tea and coffee, eat and drink with thanks to God. Eggs and bacon, chips and toffee, eat and drink with thanks to God. Sunday lunch with roasted beef, eat and drink with thanks to God. Sweets that stick all round your teeth, eat and drink with thanks to God. Vegetables and fruit that's healthy, eat and drink with thanks to God. Caviar, we're not that wealthy, eat and drink with thanks to God. Ice cream smeared all round your eyes, eat and drink with thanks to God. For a treat, Big Mac and fries, eat and drink with thanks to God. Mother's milk for real beginners, eat and drink with thanks to God. Do I dare suggest school dinners? Eat and drink with thanks to God. Jam that's sticky, toast that's crummy, eat and drink with thanks to God. Everything that's scrummy yummy, eat and drink with thanks to God. All this given for our pleasure, eat and drink with thanks to God. God is good beyond all measure, eat and drink with thanks to God. Excellent, well done. Now today's Bible story. Here's Abraham. There he is. Looks like he's looking into the sky, doesn't it? Abraham lived in a country called Haran. And one day God said to Abraham, Abraham, I want you to leave Haran and go to another country. Now, God didn't tell Abraham where he wanted him to go. He just said, trust me and go. Fancy that. Have you ever gone out on a journey and you don't know where you're going? It was just like that. God said, leave home, and I'll tell you where to go when you're going on the way. God said, do this, and your children will become a great nation. How? Abraham wondered. His wife, Sarah, there she is behind him, was too old to have children. Trust me, God said. Go where I tell you, and you will have more descendants than the stars in the sky. Look, there he is, underneath the stars. You will have more descendants than there are stars in the sky. They will bless the whole world. Trust me. Can you see? God's telling him to trust him with quite a lot here. So Abraham trusted God. He took Sarah, there she is on the donkey, his nephew Lot, there he is, and everything they owned. He went where God told him to go. He went to the land of Canaan. When he arrived, Abraham made a tent, and God appeared to him. He said, I will give you the land that you are standing on to your children. So God built an altar there. Abraham built an altar. Abraham traveled around this land. It was called the Promised Land. He was glad that he had trusted God. So he gave thanks to God for all God had promised. It's a good story. Imagine setting out on a journey and not knowing where you're going. Just someone says to you, I'll tell you where we're going when we get there. It's going to be a surprise. And that's how it was for Abraham. I think that's quite risky, don't you? When you get all your family and all your stuff and you just go and you leave everything behind, you leave your old life behind and you go off to a new life and you don't even know where you're going. That's a big thing. Nowadays, of course, we can't go anywhere. I can't go anywhere without my GPS, my global positioning system, that little thing on the phone that tells you turn left, turn right, stop, go over there. I don't know where I'd be without that. I wouldn't be able to go anywhere. It takes faith to trust that trust that God knows the right way to go. It also took Abraham faith because sometimes the places he went, they said to him, go away. We don't want you here. You're an outsider. You're someone from a different place. We don't trust you. We don't like you. Go away. So that took a lot of faith as well. It took a long time to do his traveling, and it took a long time before God answered the promise. Can you hear it now? Can you hear that? Maybe not. It's ticking away. It took a long time. That required faith. But finally, they reached the right place and they had their baby, Isaac. Remember last week we talked about him? And his name means laughter. Remember that? So Abraham was the father of faith, the father of trust. And everybody who's a Christian and everybody who's Jewish and everybody who's a Muslim actually now says that Abraham was the father of their religion, the father of faith, because he was the first person in the Bible to step out and go somewhere trusting God, not knowing where he was going, and God making him this promise that he was going to have a child, even though he was a very old man. Abraham traveled far by faith. He lived an adventure by faith. He trusted in God by faith. He listened to God by faith. He was at home with God by faith. We're going to pray now, and we're going to use our hands to pray. First of all, put your hand out like that, your palm flat, like you're ready to receive something, ready to receive a gift. Okay, hold your hand like that, and we'll say, thank you for all that we have, dear God. Okay, draw in your fingers and thumb now. So you're like holding something tightly. So you're holding like a rope or a pencil or something like that. You're holding on tightly. And we'll pray, help us to hold on to your promises each and every day, O God. Now, point forward with your index finger and draw in the other fingers like that. And we'll pray, may all we do point to God. Then hold up your hand as if you're stopping something, like a policeman stopping a car in the street. And we'll pray, help us to put an end to all that spoils your world and hurts our neighbors. And then put your hand down like that, like you're patting the head of a pet or stroking a pet's head. Just put your hand down like you're blessing. Dear God, may our family life, our homes, and our daily living be a blessing to everyone we love and meet in the days ahead. Help us, Lord, to have faith in you, like Father Abraham. Amen. It's nearly the end of the All Age service. We're going to sing the Lord's Prayer as we do every week. You should know it very well by now. Very good. Well done. It's been really good to see you today. Thank you for spending some time learning more about Abraham and Sarah and Isaac and how they made their journey through the world. And we make our journey as well. But all the time, everywhere we go, God is traveling with us. So have a good week. I'll see you again next week. God bless you and bye-bye.